Today is a sad day for the Funko community. So, one of the most old school shops for Funko is shutting down.
Yeah.
It's a really sad day. So if you haven't heard, and I learned this today from Dish Trackers, our good friend on Instagram, that Gemini, one of the oldest Funko shops, maybe one of the top 3 oldest Funko shops, is going away. And it feels like this is yet another casualty of how Funko has sort of handled, 1, small businesses, but 2, Funko products. Like a lot of these little guys are sort of fading off. I know what you're going to say. So in the post, they actually talk about not shutting down because of the reasons I just said, but more or less retirement, which is very interesting because that was sort of a blindside to me as I was reading the post because it's sort of at the bottom. And I thought I would end up reading things aren't doing so hot, so therefore we're having to do this. But that wasn't the case at all, apparently. But here's the thing. We talked to our friend Jason Swoboda from $7 a Pop, and he gave us a lot of history. Jason has been around since practically the very beginning of Funko.
Yeah, I believe he was around since before Pops. He got into Funko because of Wacky Wobblers.
He did, and he gave us a lot of history. So back then, when Funko originally started with Wacky Wobblers, you were mostly finding these figures like at Spencer's, and he also mentioned on eBay a lot. So people were buying them on eBay all the time. Gemini was a secondhand store where you could go to their website and order stuff maybe that showed up at a convention.
Yes. So I wanted to note in this video that I had never really seen complaints about Gemini.
Neither have I. Now, there was one complaint I know about. One.
I wonder if ours is going to match.
It probably is. That the convention exclusives were on there and they were too expensive.
Yes.
And also the fact that they had expensive protos.
Yes.
I remember people talking about that.
So, here's the thing about that. We probably may have even talked about that at some point, but my guess is they don't get them at wholesale prices. I would imagine they probably purchase them at right around retail, if not retail. So they mark them up.
Yeah.
But the prices that we saw often were lower than eBay, but, obviously more than retail. So I don't think they were buying them for what a wholesaler would typically, or like a retailer would typically buy them at wholesale.
Right. Well, according to Jason from $7 a Pop, he mentioned that Funko and Gemini had a really good relationship.
Well, yeah, they were one of the first Funko-centric stores.
Apparently, that there was I don't know, I guess Gemini was buying maybe back stock or things that didn't sell out, and they would sell it then on their website. So they were sort of they were prepping themselves, or they had prepped themselves to be a secondary shop. So they were doing really good things for Funko back then. We're talking about the infancy of Funko.
Yeah.
Like at the very beginning when it swapped hands from, Mike to Brian.
Yeah.
So all these things were happening. Gemini was a part of that. They were part of the growth. They were part of they were there when in the infancy.
Yeah.
They were helping raise this new Funko baby. So it's crazy to me to see them finally shut down. But let's take a look at their post, because the post is really the important part here, right? So the post says, after 20 years, it is great sadness that Gemini Collectibles announces we will be closing our doors. As a small family-owned and operated business, we were able to grow from a humble store run out of our garage into what our business has become today. Interesting, because we talked to our friend Poppin' Off Toys, and Poppin' Off Toys, run by Wes Howard. And his was started out of his attic or something, or garage.
It was his garage, yeah.
So he started just like these guys, and they're both meeting, well, I guess the same demise, but maybe a little bit differently here. But it's interesting to hear how many of these small businesses grow that way. It's really cool. I mean, like we're included in that, right? With MISCHIEF Toys.
Yeah, except we
way.
didn't have a garage when we got the figures. We had a dining room.
Yeah, we grow a little bit differently. We are truly grateful to all of our customers, some of which have been with us since the beginning, nearly 2 decades ago.
Wow.
Whether big or small, we would like to sincerely thank each and every one of you for your support over the years. Through our business, we were able to teach our children good work ethic and the importance of rewards of hard work. That's so funny because we're doing just that ourselves. They have all moved on to pursue their own lives, and it's now time for us to retire. Aww. In the interest of liquidating our inventory, we have already begun to greatly reduce prices and will continue to do so. So you're going to want to go to Gemini because I'm sure they're going to have a ton of deals. While we do an extensive selection of products, while we do have an extensive selection of products, some items have extremely limited quantities and will not be restocked. Once again, thank you for all of your loyalty and business, and we wish everyone a happy and healthy holiday season. Team Gemini. I'm going to tell you something. Do not hire me as some sort of narration because I cannot read. But right there, the very first comment, they are good people, was one of the OG. Look at that.
From Fun Maker Mike.
From Fun Maker Mike himself.
Wow.
Miss ya and thank you. Yeah. I mean, we're talking about, the start of Funko, building Funko, making Funko what it is today, propping it up. These guys were monumental in all of that. And to see them go away is really sad. In fact, I mean, if you want to read down on the second comment, you know what? They weren't able to see any of that. So here's the comment. So here's Mike. I was reading it, but you couldn't see it. We're doing an unedited video because we have MISCHIEF Toys to pack. But there's Mike Becker's comment. But look right below, Pop Vinyl Guy had to survive when Funko hard to survive when Funko stops giving you $100K a year in free produce. That's a little out of control.
Yeah,
but
that's pretty tasteless.
I think that Funko and Gemini had a relationship in which they were able to do those types of things. Funko was Funko was doing things like that for Gemini. But look, it sounds like to me that they owed them a lot because Gemini helped them a lot over the years, especially in the beginning days.
I don't understand why people like take success and
equate it to
make it ugly.
Yeah, right. Well, I think people have their opinions, and you can't reason with some people. What I will say is that knowing Jason and knowing the behind the scenes, we just happen to have somebody who has the historical knowledge. Yeah. So we understand it. But some people are looking at it from the outside. They don't understand the dynamics of it or the inner workings or how things played out over the years. They don't have a clue. So they're going to say what they think is really going on when maybe there's a lot more to the story.
Most likely, yeah.
Exactly. So these guys were actually helping people way back when. I mean, really, I think that's the significance, is that they were going to conventions, getting the exclusives, and helping people. Because back then, going to San Diego Comic-Con and going to all these conventions and stuff, the convention circuit wasn't nearly as big as it is today.
No, not at
when
all
that stuff started. So when people were going to conventions, they were probably doing their friends a huge favor. Mm-hmm. So they were doing the Lord's work, as some would say.
Yeah.
Oh no.
That was really bad.
That was really weird what that just said. I don't want to know why that was on there. That was really insane. But I am so sad.
It was a funny video.
I am so sad to see Gemini go away. I think that Gemini is retiring. It sounds to me, it appears to me, that it might be a forced retirement. I don't think a lot of these companies can sustain selling Funko products anymore. And it's really sad that way because there were so many businesses that were built on Funko. And now that Funko is sort of imploding, it's not doing well, there's no hype behind it anymore, these companies can no longer survive. They can't feed their families by selling Funko product. Yeah. And that's the saddest part about all of this. And when you're seeing guys that have been around for a long time, like Gemini, our friends over at Poppin' Off Toys, they have been doing it for quite a while. When you see them going away, it's sort of like the writing on the wall. The Funko ship has basically sailed. Yeah. I don't know how Funko can bounce back from this. I have concerns about that. we, of course, started a channel talking about Funko, and we were little guys, and then we built up during the pandemic and did pretty well for ourselves. I mean, we're not everybody's most favorite channel, but we still have a really great fan base. But now that people don't care about Funko, they don't want to come and watch videos like this anymore, because what do they care? Funko is gone, out with the old, in with the new. But it's so terrible to see that Funko they did it to themselves. I mean, we watched it and we warned people. We kept saying that this is happening. This isn't good. This isn't going to work out. And people were getting so upset with us because they had this high dollar collection and they didn't like the fact that we were saying that things weren't looking good. Yeah. But I feel like we were Nostradamus in this whole thing. Basically. And not because you have a huge nose.
You know what?
You got a pretty nose. I like your nose. I really do.
I like when you shut up. I was on Facebook reading the comments because sometimes Facebook can be pretty harsh with comments too. And a lot of people were in the same boat as you. A lot of people were saying stuff like they feel like Funko had a role in this and that they're retiring possibly early because of struggles with Funko.
And that sucks.
That's just people talking.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. That is completely alleged. That's allegedly.
Yeah.
So we don't know that.
I mean, maybe they saw business declining and they were like, you know what? Like, we can retire. Let's just do it. Or maybe they were just like, it's time to retire. Well, we don't know. We're not them. We don't know.
I think everybody saw, or everybody is seeing, or have seen the writing on the wall. Yeah. And now, I mean, we weren't the only people saying that things weren't looking good. There was, I'm sure, a lot of other people, especially in comment sections and groups and everything else. But I would love for the Funko heyday to return. Yeah. And I know that's not going to happen, at least at this juncture. Like, maybe in a few years, like, it'll come back. You know what I mean? Like retro or something, or people miss it and they want to see it come back again. But as of right now, seeing Gemini sort of disappear, fade, into the ether, it gives me no good feeling about Funko, their future, and what they're doing. And by the way, crickets with Funko. Now, there were a bunch of pictures that were posted yesterday of different figures that are coming out. I do want to talk about that. We're not going to talk about that in this video. This video is more or less just talking about how we're feeling about Gemini and what's going on. But there were some really great Funko Pops that were announced yesterday, and people were excited about it. Some of the Funko Pops that were posted up look really great. But is that really going to bring all the boys back to the yard? That's the real question, right?
No.
Who knows? I don't know.
A lack of overproduction.
The Mars Attacks one looked great.
They do.
Well, they can only overproduce now because how are they going to make money? They've grown too big, and they have to have all that money coming in. They got to earn that revenue. They got to make money. So I don't think they really have a choice to do limited pieces. How can they? I think they just got too big. They got too big for the britches. That's what happened.
For
There's
the
a guy
britches.
For the britches. I was going to do an accent, but I don't think I'll be able to pull it off. But there's a guy from Day of the Dead that says that. My favorite George A. Romero film.
Okay.
Well, 50. I mean, it's right there with Dawn of the Dead, by the way. I mean, they're the same, sort of.
No, they're not. You like Dawn better.
I love them both. I really do. It's sad. It's a sad day. I hate seeing this type of thing happen. I want to know what you guys think about Gemini in the comment section down below. I beg you, please no hate. I don't think we need any hate in this video. In the comment section where people are saying, oh, it's all overpriced and all this stuff. They were a business. They were doing great things back in the day. They continue doing great things into the future. People who couldn't go to conventions, they could go to them and buy these pieces. I think they were doing really great work. I am so unhappy about all of this. It's so messed up.
Me too. And I just want to clarify, you can have an opinion that differs from ours, but, like, I think Chris means don't be hateful.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Because if Gemini finds this video, for some reason, if they feel like watching it, and they see hateful comments, like, that would be sort of discouraging.
Yeah, I mean, look, at a time like this, they're looking for people to be like, oh my God, Gemini's going away? Yeah. Old school. But a lot of people who got into the Funko community later, they don't know the past. We just so happen to know Jason. He helped us out with the past and understanding the history of all this. Yeah. So thank you, Jason Svoboda, for sending us a 4-minute long...
4 minute and 44 seconds.
4 minute and 44 seconds voice memo, so we could listen to all the historical stuff about Gemini. Now, I knew a bit about this, but he gave me some really great material. One thing he explained to me is that, much like today, he got angry at the website once. He said he became a little bit of a jerk. That's what he said. He became a little bit of a jerk. But he realized that it was a website issue. So I don't know what happened there. He didn't dive deep.
He said he didn't know how shopping carts work, but
right. I bet somebody took it out of a shopping cart. You know how that happens?
Possibly,
somebody took it out of my shop. I had it in my cart and it's sold out.
It's not happens all the time. Ticketmaster, though.
That isn't how it works.
But what I was going to say is he is a bit of a pro about shopping carts because he always returns his shopping cart.
That's right. He sure does. Now, there's one more thing I wanted to show you before this video is over.
Whoa, what are you showing us?
Well, I'm showing you this. So we got 3 of these gravies. Now, there's a reason why I got 3. 1 is for us, and 2 are for our lucky patrons. We're going to have a Patreon call very soon. If you don't know what gravy is, it comes from our friends over at Smyworld and surfer Ben Gravy. Yes. They teamed up, Jonathan and Ben, teamed up on this really great piece of art. I love it.
We actually interviewed Ben and Jonathan.
Yeah.
And Chris is going to link that in the description below.
Absolutely. Yeah, it was a great interview. And this is one really great gravy figure. Look at that.
Looks so good.
So there's something about me right now. I am super into black and gold. This is sort of the head is like sort of smoky. This pineapple.
I like it.
It's sort of smoky and different, but it has glitter in it.
It's smoky and hot.
But I like the black and gold. I like black and gold. I think they pair really well. I have a watch that has black and gold. I just love it. I think it's a really great look. Now, look at this. They packed in a pin. You do.
It's black and gold.
I bought it for you.
I know.
And then there's this Chomp pin. It's Chomp, Surfer Chomp, because I think they're making a surfing Chomp figure. I don't think they've released that yet. But they're doing a surfing Chomp figure. This is LE 100. I got number 91 right here.
Whoa.
What the other numbers in there? Let's take a look. What numbers did I get? Maybe I got number 1 in there, Heather. Take a look. I need to know. But this is a great piece. They're no longer available on the website because I bought them all, as you can see. But if you want to become a patron, go to our Patreon at patreon.com/Gastlecast, and you'll have a chance to win one of these, plus a bunch of other prizes that we'll have available, to include a Deadpool Hot Toys figure from Deadpool and Wolverine. What number was that?
14.
14? That's a low number. Okay, I thought they were going to be like close, like 89, 90, 91. Don't fart over there. Don't be gross.
I didn't fart.
Okay.
That must have been you.
Number 30.
Whoa.
Out of 100. That's cool.
30, flirty, and thriving.
There you go.
Isn't that how it goes?
And it comes with this cool sticker as well. So you get the little sticker.
I love this sticker.
Well. Yeah.
Is that how it goes? 30, flirty, and thriving?
I have no idea.
From 13 going on 30.
Sure, I guess. This was LE 100.
Wow.
It's a low piece count figure. I am definitely keeping mine somewhere on my desk or maybe even behind us on our shelf. I love this. I think it's amazing. Go and check them out. You can actually follow them on Instagram. It is at I Love Gravy?
No, it's not I Love Gravy.
What is it?
Hold on, I always have a hard time with it.
Yeah, it's Gravy Boat? Hashtag
no,
Gravy Boat?
Stoked_on_gravy.
Bang, bang. Go to Stoked_on_gravy to check them out. Follow them. And then on smyworld.com, I think is where this was sold. You can find other variants of this character. They have them on Plastic Empire, I think, sometimes. Go and check them out. These guys are awesome. Let us know what you think about everything we talked about in this video and more. And please, down below, leave some love for Gemini. In case they do come and watch this video, we would love for them to get a little bit of love. In every video, we like to shout out to some of our patrons for Patreon. In this video, we'd like to shout out to Mitch Hayes, Jorge Mendez, Lil Steve, Susan Munson, Tim Levro, Gustavo Quintero, Ronaldo Gomez, Tonya Arlafond, Nathan Heckman, and Robert Williams. Thank you guys so much for your continued support. We appreciate all of our patrons. You guys are awesome, again, check out our Patreon at patreon.com/Gastlecast. And that upcoming call is very, very soon. We're going to be doing that for our month of December call. It'll take place on the 21st of December. So it's going to be basically a year wrap up. Come and hang with us. Patreon.com/Gastlecast. Hit the like button very hard and hit that subscribe button. Hit the little bell. That way you'll know anytime we go live or post brand new content. Come back and watch us again. Come back and watch us during our lives every Sunday between 8 and 9 p.m. Eastern. We have a real blast here. We were a little late last Sunday, but this Sunday we're going to be ready to rock and roll with you because we are going to be announcing possibly, or sometime this week we'll be announcing our brand new holiday figures for Mischief Toys. And again, you want to check out our toy company, Mischief Toys, because we do fun stuff over there. MischiefToys.com. Go ahead and check out our newsletter there, sign up for it, and go to our Instagram at Mischief Toys. You know, it's funny. I'm sitting here saying all this. I said, again, we haven't talked about Mischief Toys yet.
Mischief Toys is the best. MischiefToys.com, Mischief Toys on Instagram, Mischief Toys on Facebook.
Thank you. There you go. The Mischief Toys group on Facebook also. Go and join it. Thank you so much for staying until the end of the video. We love you. We'll see you in the next one.
Bye.